In my previous video, I explained my thought process on how I create massive production lines. It simplifies the whole automation of Enfield in a few minutes. It allows the least experienced players to create production lines on their own with a lot less effort. If you're interested, the link is in the description. So for those who want to create their own production line in Wuling, I'll give you some tips. For those who just want to learn how to use my blueprints, feel free to skip this section. In Wuling, there are new plants and a water pump system to use for the automation. If you check the formulas in the planting unit, you will see that a single seed of a Wuling plant can grow 2 plants. So unlike the usual planting unit loop where you use 2 planting units and 1 seed picking unit, Wuling plants only require 1 planting unit and 1 seed picking unit to form a loop. However, the catch is that it needs clean water. Plants in Wuling are also built differently. If you put a Wuling plant into a refining unit, you will unlock a new formula that shows how a Wuling plant can produce 2 carbon each. So, unlike buckflower or sandleaf, Wuling plants have double the carbon production. Finally, the water pump system. If you open the fluid pump menu, you can see that it produces 1 clean water per second. Considering that the majority of formulas requires 2 seconds to create a product, this means that a single fluid pump can support 2 units. This could change once we get more formulas in the future. The endgame setup for Wuling is to have 2 production lines for Zeronite, 2 production lines for LC Wuling batteries, 1 production line for Zeronite component, and 1 production line for any of their medicine. I will explain how to manage all the production lines later, so you need to stay and watch that section instead of just closing the video as soon as you finish setting up the blueprints. First, go to Dijiang and manually transfer some HC batteries into Wuling Depot. You should have plenty of them by now if you followed my Valley base guide in the previous video. On PC, Ctrl plus left clicking the HC battery instantly transfers everything you can hold into your backpack. Switch to Wuling Depot and store the batteries there. Make sure that the first area expansion is upgraded and have the depot bus unlocked. Move the AIC into the lower right corner of the area. Using the map orientation, you basically position the AIC into the southeast area. Set up 2 thermal banks and load them with HC batteries. Next, go to the top right corner of the area and place 2 fluid pumps on the river nearby. Then, place pipes for each unit and extend them close to the AIC area. Just follow what I did in the background. Next, go to the top left corner of the area and place a fluid pump on the river nearby. Same as earlier, place a pipe in the unit and extend it close to the AIC area. Now, head back to the main AIC area. Use my code to get the blueprint for Zeronite. Place it on the top right corner of the area. Place another one right below it. I intentionally left a partial pipe connected into a planting unit to mark where you need to put a splitter. Put a pipe splitter at the end of the partial pipe. Its input should be on top. From the splitter, connect a pipe to the Forge of the Sky. Do the same thing for the second Zeronite production line below. Remember the pipes we prepared earlier in the top right area? You can now connect both into the splitters so clean water starts flowing in. Place any Wuling plant into the seed picking unit on the top right side. Place sand leaves into the seed picking unit on the top left side. Do the same for the second Zeronite production line below. Next, we need to place the depot bus in the middle of the area. The port itself should be placed here using the flower bed on the left as a landmark. The sections will extend into the middle area with the last section placed vertically. Use my code to get the blueprint for Wuling Medicine. Place it on the top left corner of the area. Connect the pipe we prepared to the splitter. Put Yagen into the seed picking unit. Any Wuling plant is actually fine, but you will need a level 2 outpost to be able to trade Jinsao drinks. Open the reactor crucible menu and switch the bottom unloader to Yagen solution. Use my code to get the blueprint for LC Wuling battery. Place it on the bottom left corner of the area. Place another one right beside it. Place sand leaves on the seed picking units. Use my code to get the blueprint for Zeronite component. Place it right beside the medicine production line. Place sand leaves on the seed picking unit and turn off the gearing unit for now. Double check your yields through the AIC report menu. You'll need to wait for a while to see the proper current data. Zeronite production should always be at 60 per minute. The medicine production should keep fluctuating between 4 and 5 per minute due to the insufficient source of theriums. LC Wuling battery should be at 12 per minute. Zeronite component should be at 0 because we turned it off. The reason why everything is compiled in the main AIC area is so that we can easily manage the production of Wuling based on our needs. If your outpost has a ton of stock bill savings, keep using the Zeronites to produce Wuling batteries. Keep trading the batteries you produce for stock bills. At some point, you will get the outpost bankrupt. When this happens, turn off both packaging units of the battery production lines. Then, turn on the gearing unit of the gear production line. This allows you to stock up on gear components while waiting for the outpost to generate more stock bills. Once your outpost has plenty of stock bill savings again, turn off the gearing unit and turn on both packaging units again. At some point, you will start having too many gear components that you can just leave the gearing unit turned off for a very long time. You need to outsource Wuling's battery consumption to Valley 4. I already taught you how to manually transfer HC batteries through Dijiang. To help slow down the consumption of HC batteries, you can set HC batteries as Valley 4's regional transfer into Wuling. According to the AIC report, Wuling would consume 3 HC batteries per minute. That is 180 batteries per hour. We can reduce it by 30 through regional transfer. In short, Wuling requires 150 HC batteries per hour, 3,600 batteries per day. So if you want to just leave it alone for a day, make sure there are more than 3,600 HC batteries in Wuling Depot. Assuming you already maxed out your RDM facilities, have bought out all the gear formulas and upgrade materials from stock redistribution, your top priority is to purchase operator gifts and artificing catalysts. Obviously, you don't need to purchase more operator gifts if you already have their trusts at 100% or max. There are 3 Wuling artificing catalysts being sold in the stock redistribution. One has a 99% discount but is limited. The other 2 refreshes weekly with less discounts. I would suggest buying all stocks of the one with 95% discount per week, and use all the remaining stock bills to gradually buy the limited stocks of the one with 99% discount. Once you are done spending sanity to upgrade your most used operators, you can start investing the stock bills into Wuling engraving permits. After all, you need to spend sanity on energy alluvium to make use of engraving permits. From here, it is up to you how you balance your stock bill investments. Last but not the least, setting up your Wuling Eco-Farm. There is a consumable called Fortifying Infusion, which grants 9% critical chance and 18% all damage increase. It can be crafted with 8 red jade ginseng and 8 jinsao powder. Once your outpost reaches level 2, you will be able to trade jinsao drinks for stock bills. If you go back to the Wuling medicine production line, you will notice that it has a partial belt leading to somewhere. If you set the production line to produce jinsao drinks, you can direct that belt to the protocol stash of the gearing unit. By doing this, you will have a stable source of jinsao powders. All that's left is to craft 8 red jade ginseng plots. If you need seeds to craft it, put the ones you randomly picked up into a seed picking unit or simply buy from Wellmorin. Every 4 hours, you will be able to collect 8 red jade ginseng from the farm, which allows you to craft 1 fortifying infusion. Producing red jade ginseng would also eventually unlock a stronger consumable called ginseng meat stew. You can place a total of 20 plots in the farm. You can have the 12 remaining plots grow yagen plants. It would create a byproduct called thorny yagen, which can be crafted into thorny yagen powder, a stronger version of Citromix. Once you produce plenty of thorny yagen powders, you can start growing jinsao, reed rye, and amber rice to unlock rewards. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.